So, hello, 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 and welcome. And I have a very dear friend and author who's worked with me for years, and I'm so excited to introduce her consciousness to you. She's just a delight to be around, and we don't have an agenda today, so we're just going to see what happens. Welcome, Betsy McLoughlin. How are you?
Hello, Erica, and thank you so much for having me on. I'm great.
Tell us a little bit. I know that it seems a little cliche, but I have to ask you about your weight loss journey because when I look at those before and after pictures, and I looked at I don't remember how many 100 pounds you were,
Yeah,
and that you just kind of changed your relationship with food. And maybe just, I think people might be curious about that.
yeah. Well, it definitely, I've changed my relationship with food. I've changed my relationship with my body. And yeah, so the highest that I weighed was 500 pounds. And it was quite a struggle and quite a journey to get from 500 pounds, which was like a size 5X, 6X, like
Mhm.
trying to find the biggest clothes I could online was becoming very much of a challenge to where I am now, which is like a size, I'm a medium, a size 10 or a 12, I weigh 150 pounds. And for a long time, honestly, never thought that I would get to this, even though even though I wanted to for so long. And so, yeah, it's been quite, quite an exploration and journey into just changing so many things with my body and
Mhm.
my eating and
Nice.
everything. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. We were kind of in the pre-chat, talking a little bit about it. This is what it felt like to me, so I may have gotten it wrong, but like
Yeah.
going inside, like healing the places, healing and being one with connectivity. And it really seemed you just seemed so much lighter and happier than you. And I always felt that you were kind of a light and happy person regardless, with a very cute dog. So tell us a little bit about that, like the going inside and what that felt like to you.
Yes, for sure. That I realized that that was such an important part of this. And for so long, it'd be, I would say, okay, this is the diet that's going to change everything and get me to where I'm going to go. And, I would do it through force and control and deprivation. And I would lose some weight. And, then when it'd be like, I'm kind of tired of the force and control and deprivation, and I would go back to old patterns and old
Mm,
eating, right? So the weight would come back, sometimes more, and then that would start a whole heap of just what is wrong with me? Why can't I? Judgment, guilt, anger at my body, just so many different feelings and emotions that I carried with me for most of my life. And realized that I was so disconnected
mm,
with all of it. And it was,
right?
yeah,
And I think we do that, like, as women, it's so easy to do that.
yes,
Like
very
to
much.
to kind of be there serving everyone else,
Yes.
taking care of our kids, taking care of our spouses, taking care of our animals, and just our whole role became this like
Yeah.
massive caretaking, but it really wasn't like taking care of oneself, you know?
So true. If you're even on the page, you're on like page 7,000. By the time you get to that part of the book, you've passed out from exhaustion of all the other things you're doing. So, yeah, it's so true, Erica. And so when, I was through a lot of really kind of brutal things that I did to my body, I was able to lose a couple 100 pounds. And then
Okay.
I really couldn't get past that. It was like,
Oh
you know,
my gosh, Betsy, did you hear
yeah,
yourself? A couple
yes,
100 pounds, like, oh my goodness.
yes.
Let's just pause and
I
praise.
know.
Let's pause and praise that
I
being inside
know.
of you that
Right?
made the choices that allowed her to to just so much more harmony with your body, even if it wasn't where you are now, still
Yes.
pretty awe-inspirational, if you ask me. That's not a
Thank
word, but I just made it
Thank
up.
you. Thank you. And, that's where, did start to realize that. It's like, Betsy, that's as much as your husband weighs. Like, and it was wow. Because, of course, I was going to the beating myself up about it and why can't I and blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And, so just along the way, I started realizing that if I needed to do something different. And what was the something different? I'd tried all kinds of different diets. I can tell you, like, you want to know about it, I probably have done it. Right? That t-shirt, been there, done that, but yes, I've done it. And it's like, okay, what could I do different? And because my body was yelling at me, through pain and stiffness, and I was getting all these, like, I got skin eruptions and
Wow.
some different things, and I'm like, what? And it got louder when I was ignoring it or getting mad at my body, like, oh, body. And then I was like, okay, what could I do different? Because what I've done my whole life, yeah, it's worked, but it's been hard as you know what, and maybe there's something else possible. And if I didn't do what I thought that I had to do, like if I actually started including my body in the equation of my life, which I had realized I wasn't doing, I'm going to do this and then just go do it. And
Right, and
I,
I think that is, like, actually, this show will air right around New Year's when everybody, like, does the diet thing again, and, like, they wake up after the holidays, and they're like,
yes,
"I don't like this tire around my stomach," and, like, p
right.
so and but I think this point of the pushing and the controlling and the
Hmm.
trying to dictate to our
Yes,
body, that's
yes,
the piece that feels like really shifted. Like when I look at your energy now, it
yes,
just it doesn't feel like you're going against yourself and the self-sabotage is gone.
correct. And and that was by me actually doing a double take and going, okay, body, I'm actually going to listen to you, because I was, like I said, in such terrible pain. And it's like something's got to change here. I don't, and I didn't want to be on drugs for the rest of my life to try to control the pain and the stiffness. I could barely walk. I mean, there was a lot of other things going on, and it's like, your body cannot get much louder. Are you going to start listening? It's like the kid in the corner who's going, mommy, 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 and getting louder and louder because you're just like, shh, I'm on the
Mm,
phone. Shh, I'm
mhm.
cooking dinner. And, so they get louder because they're trying to get your attention for whatever. My body was doing the same thing. So when I stopped and was like, all right, body, I totally dropped all of my defenses and my barriers and my walls that I'd had to my body, which I didn't even realize I had until I started looking at it. And it was, okay, body, I'm listening. I'm really, really listening to you. What do you require? And from that, there was such a shift of, and I apologize to my body quite profusely. And I still do sometimes. My body, I'm so sorry for everything I put you through. And just in doing that, saw that my body didn't judge me ever, which was a revelation in itself, because I thought my body judged me just as much as I had judged my body. And so from that, I was able to just like let go of the judgment and the anger and the frustration.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was. And so then I started conversations with my body, which I still do all the time. And it's like, body, like, this is new for me. You're going to really have to show me, have a lot of patience with me. And I'm not always going to hear you. and I know I'll still try to override you sometimes and all of those things, but started talking to my body like you would talk to anybody else that you were trying to create something with. And I was like, I'm
Well,
going
I think, Betsy, I feel like,
to,
so we gotta kind of like think about our audience here, and our audience is very
yeah,
conscious women, mostly
love
women,
it.
some men, about 35, 65, and maybe just maybe there's one tool that you could bring to the table right now. Just is there
Yeah.
one tool that you'd like to share with the audience that's
Mhm.
listening? Because it seems like this is kind of our tribe, So we
Hmm.
want to be kind of
Love it.
yeah, we want to be kind of honoring of how
Yeah.
far all the audience has come. I feel like the audience has come a long way too. They've all worked on themselves. They've all done things and
Yeah.
changed. And maybe
Yeah.
just if you could like kind of speak back to that Betsy who had her
Yeah.
who was kind of like stuck. What's
Yeah.
one thing you'd like to share?
I would like to share just like to have the kindness and the gratitude for yourself that we, again, that's going to be on page 7,000 or maybe in the PS, because we're so, we spend so much time in the judgment area. And it's like if you can get rid of the judgment and actually replace the judgment with kindness and gratitude for all the amazing things that, and in this case, I'm talking about our bodies and how our bodies care for us. And, the fact that my body took care of me with all of the weight, and we were still able to do so much. And then when I realized that and have that gratitude, that is where so
Mm.
much melted, so much
Oh,
melted
that's
off.
lovely.
Yeah. And
That's
so I would
lovely.
say, like where can in questions we can ask, like, what can I be grateful for with my body today? And
And
I often thank our body. Yeah.
well, so where I went to, which of course shows my consciousness, was like my business and how I can like beat myself up because
Yeah.
it's not going as fast as I wanted, or it's not going as far as I wanted, or it's not like it gives
Yes.
me time with my kids, but it doesn't give me everything I wanted from my business. And then I feel like I do that same judgment thing, and it feels now that you kind of brought light on it, it doesn't seem like I'm very conscious of that I'm doing that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. And now that you've realized, like, and that's the thing, as soon as you acknowledge it, you can change it. And when you're aware of it, you're like, oh, wait, what are all the things, so replacing that judgment piece with, oh my gosh, what are all the things I can be grateful for? And one
Hmm.
of the things that I suggested to a client recently, and she's done it and she loves it, is like doing in little pieces of paper and putting them in a jar. And I'm like, I need to remember to do it myself, and putting all the things that we're grateful for, our body, our business, our family, our home,
Nice. My horses.
right? Your beautiful horses, the place you live, like all of those things. So when we have a moment where we're in the mire of all of that other stuff, we can like, wait, okay, where's that jar? Let me pull something out that can shift those energies into something that's,
Do you
yeah.
know, this is gonna think you're gonna think I'm crazy. I did that in high school.
Nice.
I had a big jar and I put all these kind things to me in it because I lacked confidence in high school, and actually I had some weight issues too, and I just put all these little kind things on pieces of paper, and then every morning before I'd go to school
Oh,
and have all this judgment from all the high schoolers,
right.
I would be kind to me, and that
Oh.
changed everything. It changed everything, Betsy. So I just want to sanction y'all, go get a jar. Go to the kitchen, get a jar, get little pieces of paper. I get blank journals and I cut up little pieces. And
Love it.
yeah, write some things to be kind to you. I think this is a good place to end. So why don't
Love
you share
it.
with us how we can reach you and find out more, Betsy?
Well, thank you again for this conversation. I so appreciate it. And they can reach me, my website, betsymclaughlin.com. And I would, love to hear from you all and see what's going on in your world. And thank you for listening. And again, Erica, thank you for having me on. You're wonderful and an inspiration to many, many, many people.
Aw,
And yeah, your podcast is certainly a testament to that.
thank you.
Bye, everybody.